We're following two big developments this morning for the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection. First, President Biden has rejected former President Trump's efforts to withhold information from the January 6th committee, ordering the National Archives to turn over the Trump White House visitor logs to the committee within 15 days. And the committee issuing new subpoenas for 6 people who it says were involved in organizing slates of alternate electors who would challenge President Biden's 2020 victory. Joining us now, Leanne Caldwell on Capitol Hill. Shannon Pettypiece covers the White House for us, and Jeff Bennett is chief Washington correspondent for the PBS NewsHour. Good morning to all of you. Shannon, do we know why President Biden took this action now, and are there any legal challenges left for former President Trump on this?
Well, we will see if the former president tries to continue fighting this. But the White House saying very clearly today, as they have in past efforts by the former president to block release of records, that the former president has no grounds to assert executive privilege now that he is out of office, and that the current president, the current administration, which the courts have very clearly stated is the one who gets to decide which presidential documents are released. They have made the determination that there's a compelling reason for Congress to get these documents. And the White House top lawyer wrote in a letter today being very clear about how they feel about this. They said constitutional protections of executive privilege should not be used to shield from Congress or the public information that reflects a clear and apparent effort to subvert the Constitution itself. Now, real briefly, what we're talking about here are White House visitor logs. So this is basically documentation of anyone who requested to go into the White House on January 6th. Unless you are a White House staffer with a special pass to get in every day and get out, you have to go through a certain process where you give certain information to the White House, to the Secret Service, to get cleared to go in. So that's what information the committee will be getting, a list of who was cleared and approved to go into the White House on that day. And, you know, these documents have become increasingly important to this committee as well, because so many of the key players are refusing to cooperate here. So this could give the committee a window into who is coming and who is going from the White House on this crucial day. Yeah, Jeff, when you look at the big picture, how important could this be?
Well, it's significant. On one level, it's important because anytime a sitting president waives or nullifies the executive privilege claims of his predecessor, that is a major precedent-setting move. And the federal courts, even the Supreme Court, have weighed this issue of executive privilege dating back to the Nixon era, if not before. And the Supreme Court has always reasoned, Chris, that executive privilege exists for the benefit of the republic. It exists for the benefit of the country. It does not exist for the benefit of any individual president. It doesn't exist for the benefit of any one individual man. And so a source familiar who confirmed this news as first reported by the New York Times pointed to the letter that Shannon spoke of by the White House counsel, Dana Remus, in which Remus made clear to the National Archives that President Biden considered Trump's executive privilege claims, but ultimately decided that he had no standing, that it did not exist in the interest of the United States. And so the White House has now ordered the archives to make these documents available to Congress within 15 days. Remus citing what she sees as a compelling need and an urgent matter sitting before this Congress. And the urgent matter she's speaking of is the work, of course, of the January 6th committee as they try to stitch together this tapestry of what was happening inside the West Wing. What was then President Trump doing? What was he talking to? Who was he talking to when he apparently refused or at least delayed for hours, telling his supporters to stop the violence and go home? They're also trying to figure out who was involved in funding the rally that preceded the insurrection, where then President Trump told his supporters to fight like hell. And they're trying to make all the points of connection, connect all of the different points between those rally organizers and the White House director.
We say it time and time again, follow the money. So, Leanne, then let's talk about those subpoenas. Not a lot of big names, but some lawyers that I've talked to have said this could be one of the, if not the most consequential track the committee is taking. Again, put this into context for us.
Yeah, Chris, it's interesting that the committee is making clear that the sending of false electors to Congress was something that the committee is extremely interested in, and that's what this batch of subpoenas is about. And this falls on the heels of a previous batch of 14 subpoenas, the top 2 electors in 7 states who did send those false electors to